Your memories don't live in the past. They're rebuilt in the present every single time you remember. And that idea feels uncomfortable at first, because we like to believe memories are a recording, a mental video file, stored, untouched, truthful. But when I slow down, when I actually observe how my mind works, I begin to notice something strange. Each time I remember a moment, it feels slightly different. The emotions shift, the details blur, some parts grow louder, others disappear completely, not because I'm lying to myself, but because the brain never replays the past. It reconstructs it right now, in this moment, from fragments, from feelings, from expectations, from who I am today. And once I saw that, I couldn't unsee it. To why? When I was younger, I believed my childhood was exactly how I remembered it. Certain conversations, certain faces, certain moments of happiness, and moments of pain. They felt solid, certain, permanent. But years later, when I talked with people who lived those same moments with me, their memories were completely different. Not small differences, big ones. They remembered joy where I remembered fear. They remembered laughter where I remembered silence. They remembered events that I had erased entirely. And I realized something quietly unsettling. We weren't remembering the same past. We were each rebuilding our own version of it. The brain doesn't store experiences like files in a folder. It stores pieces, emotions, images, sensations, meanings. And when you remember, your mind takes those pieces and stitches them together into a story that feels real, a story that feels complete, but a story that is always influenced by your current mood, your beliefs, your fears, your identity. If you're sad today, your memories lean darker. If you're confident today, your memories feel stronger. If you feel unsafe now, your past suddenly looks full of danger. The present quietly edits the past. Every time. One. This is why two people can leave the same room and remember the conversation in opposite ways. One remembers being respected. The other remembers being attacked. One remembers connection, the other remembers rejection, and both feel certain, both feel right, because the brain isn't searching for truth, it's creating coherence. It's building a story that makes sense of who you are now. When scientists study memory, they find something fascinating. Each time you recall a memory, it becomes flexible again, unstable, like soft clay, and when you put it back, it gets stored slightly changed, modified by whatever you felt and thought during the remembering. So memory isn't slowly fading, it's constantly being rewritten. Every recall is an edit. Every reflection is a reconstruction. Your childhood today is not the same childhood you remembered 5 years ago. Your heartbreak today is not the same heartbreak you remembered last year. The past keeps moving, not in time, but in interpretation. Prize lean, and this explains something most people struggle with. Why painful memories feel stronger the more you think about them. Why trauma grows heavier when replayed. Why regrets become sharper. It's not because the past is attacking you. It's because each replay is rebuilding it with emotion. The more you revisit pain, the more detailed and powerful it becomes. The brain thinks, this must be important, let's reinforce it, and so the story thickens, not with facts, but with feeling. But the opposite is also true. Moments of joy can fade, not because they were weak, but because we don't revisit them with emotion. The brain doesn't strengthen what we don't return to, so over time, painful memories become vivid. Beautiful ones grow quiet, not because life was darker, but because attention shaped what survived. This realization changed how I relate to my own past. I used to believe I was trapped by what happened, by mistakes, by losses, by things I couldn't change. But then I saw something gently liberating. I'm not reliving the past, I am recreating it, right now, with each thought, with each emotion, with each interpretation. The memory I suffer from is not the original moment, it's today's version of it. God, that doesn't mean the past didn't happen. Pain was real, joy was real, events were real, but the story my mind tells about them is never fixed. It's fluid, alive, responsive, shaped by awareness. And this is why healing happens not by erasing memory, but by changing how it's rebuilt. When you revisit a painful memory calmly, with understanding, with compassion, the brain stores it differently. Less threat, less fear, less intensity. Not because you lied to yourself, but because the emotional weight changed, the reconstruction softened, the story evolved. And suddenly, the past loosens its grip, not because it disappeared, but because it transformed. I began noticing this in daily life. When I felt anxious, my mind pulled up every memory that supported fear. When I felt confident, it pulled up memories of strength. The brain isn't neutral. It searches for consistency. It asks, who are you right now? Then it rebuilds the past to match. If you believe you're broken, your memories will prove it. If you believe you're growing, your memories will support that too. The mind is an incredible storyteller, but not always a historian. And this explains something even deeper, why we cling to certain identities. I've always been unlucky. I've always been anxious. I've always struggled. The brain collects memories to maintain that narrative. It highlights some, deletes others, distorts details, not maliciously, automatically, to keep the story consistent. And once I saw this, I realized something powerful. I am not trapped inside my memory. I am witnessing a story being continuously rewritten, and awareness gives me choice. Ends up when a painful memory arises now. I don't fight it. I don't analyze it endlessly. I observe it. I notice how it feels. I notice the emotion shaping it. I notice the narrative being formed. And slowly, the story changes. Not instantly, not magically, but gently. Over time, the past becomes lighter, not erased, but integrated. End of quote. This is why two people can live through trauma, and one remains trapped, while the other grows stronger. It's not about what happened. It's about how the brain keeps rebuilding it. Memory isn't storage. It's construction, moment by moment, story by story, emotion by emotion. 1008. And when you truly understand this, something inside relaxes. You stop trying to fix the past. You stop fighting memories. You stop fearing thoughts, because you realize you're not stuck inside history. You're participating in its recreation right now. This doesn't mean suffering is imaginary. It means suffering is shaped, which also means it can be reshaped. End of 2. The mind loves certainty. It wants solid ground, so it creates firm stories about the past. But reality is softer than that, more fluid, more open, more forgiving. When you sit quietly and watch memories arise, you begin to see them for what they are, not facts returning, but stories forming, images assembling, emotions coloring the scene. And with that observation, space appears, freedom appears, choice appears. You don't have to erase your past. You simply stop rebuilding it with pain. Unquote. And sometimes the hardest truth to accept is that the story you've been living inside was never exactly real. Observe, reflect, awaken,